Hey guys, welcome to Chaos Quartet. Today we're going to be making the Cactus from Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. We've got the Peashooter and the Sunflower already, so this is 3 out of 4 for the original plant team in Garden Warfare. So we're getting there pretty quickly. The Cactus in Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 1 and 2 has a couple of really fun powers that are at your disposal while playing as this character. The Cactus would probably be classified as a sniper class, or at least as close as you get to that in a Plants vs. Zombies game. So when playing this character, you probably won't be getting up close and personal with people. Sitting back, finding a good vantage point, and shooting long range using the Cactus's main weapon, the spike shot, is a good strategy. To aid in this, you also have a barrier ability called the Tall Nut Battlement. You can drop this most anywhere and stay behind it to help protect you from incoming fire. This ability has an alternate form as well. It's called the Iron Maiden, and it's basically a stronger tall nut made of metal, but the drawback is that it's not quite as wide. Another fun way to use these is to block an entrance to a specific area, making it a bit harder for enemies to get through. Another power that helps stay out of the fray is the Garlic Drone. You can find a good spot to hide and launch a drone that allows you to fly around the map and rain down from above. You have an extremely small amount of health in this mode, but enemies will find it hard to shoot you down as long as you keep your distance. When up in the air, you have a basic automatic firing weapon called the Needle Shot. It'll be your main form of attack, but when you've got a good target, you can call in the Corn Strike. This is basically like calling in an airstrike, but with stalks of corn. It can be very effective if used properly. Then the last, but certainly not least, power is the Potato Mine. These are little landmines that you can drop all over the map, but you can only use 3 of them at a time, so use them wisely. If stepped on by an enemy, they'll be blown up. These can be used in several ways, like if someone's charging at you and getting too close, you can drop one of these puppies and blow them sky high, but you have to time it just right or they will miss stepping on it and get to you anyway. Another fun thing to do with these is drop them around all of your tall nuts that are blocking the path. Then even if someone manages to get around them, there's a rude awakening waiting for them on the other side. One of my favorite things about the Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare games is the variety of characters. I switch between characters all the time, and the Cactus is no exception to that. When a match starts, I usually pull the cheap move and launch the Garlic Drone as soon as I can, fly over to where the bulk of the enemies are so I can rain down on them. And after that gets blown up, I move out and start trying to pick people off while avoiding getting shot at. I'm not extremely good at these games, so I usually fail to stay in one spot for very long, but that's okay because no one likes campers. But that's most of the fun of this character, being a sneaky sniper, because your speed won't get you far when going toe-to-toe with an enemy. My favorite variants of this character are the fire and ice versions, the fire for the residual damage, and the ice to slow people down and make them a bit easier to hit. Then to talk a bit about how we created this. I created the model using ZBrush, I created the main shapes with ZSpheres, and I turned on Radial Symmetry on the Y-axis to create the ridges all the way around the body. Then I used the same technique to add the spikes and flowers all over the body. After that, all that was left was adding the details to the face, and we were done. The whole thing took me about 5 hours to model. After modeling, I printed it out on the Wanhao D7. I actually messed up the first time and didn't hollow it out, which would have been fine, but I waited too long to check it and ended up using all of the resin and it stopped printing. That was a pretty expensive mistake, but I hollowed out the model and kicked it off again, and it turned out pretty good the second time. This is a perfect use for SLA because this model would have been extremely hard to sand properly with all the little spikes and flowers around the body. So my wife barely had to sand it at all before she could start painting. She started with primer and then moved to airbrush for the main colors, then finished up with paintbrushes for the details. If you're curious about her equipment and paints, check the description down below for some links to see what she uses. So to wrap this up, I'm extremely glad to add the Cactus to my collection. The very first character model on this channel was a Plants vs. Zombies character, so I'm really happy now that I'm finally getting around to adding to this collection. The next video will be the Chomper, but after that I'm going to dive into the zombie side. So let me know in the comments what your favorite zombie character is. And with that, I think it's time to add the Cactus to its friends on the shelf. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I wanted to mention briefly that I've started a Patreon, so if you guys like these videos and like what we do here, it would mean a lot to us if you could check it out. The link is in the description below. Every little bit helps, but if you're not in a position to give, no worries. We appreciate every one of you that takes the time to watch our videos. So thank you, and until next time, keep creating.